talk about the expressor. Okay? Now, expressors like to shape their environment by bringing others into alliance to accomplish those results. Okay? They're the rah-rah motivators, okay, with that. And realize that you're probably going to have two dominant. If you take the personality profile out there, you're going to probably find two areas that are more dominant than the others, okay, with that. But they desire, they like the social recognition. They're people persons. They like to talk with other people. They like popularity, freedom of speech. You know, don't tell me I can't talk up. Opportunities to help and motivate people. Okay? Freedom from control and details. And they also like to be acknowledged for their abilities. You know? Hey, you can tell me how good I am. It's all right. I like that type of thing. That is what they tend to desire. So characteristics of an expressor or the otter. You ever watch an otter in the water? They just play around, have a good time, go to the zoo. Can't remember where we saw those otters at the zoo the other day, a while back. But St. Louis. But the characteristics, the expressor, the otter, is going to seek people out. Okay? They have a childlike spirit. That's the way I say they just want to have fun. They like to have fun. If you're going to do something, you might as well have fun doing it, right? They have an innate optimism. They're positive. You know, the glass is always half full for them. All right? They can be tender and compassionate. They also tend to be very articulate and verbal. They're going to talk your ear off. They're cheerful. They do love to please. They love to make a good first impression. They're entertaining. If the party's not going well, just ask an otter to step up. They'll be it. They'll be the life of the party. They'll be more than glad to do that. They love to motivate others and get you moving along so we can get the task done, and their desire to help one another. If you are an otter, what you'll probably tend to find is that you're not good at getting the job done on a particular time frame because too many squirrels, too many fun things that you had to do. So, oh, was that due today? So if your boss doesn't understand you, you're in trouble because, yes, the boss expected it on his desk at 10. All right? The analyst or the beaver. Now, you probably think more of the beaver. Think about a beaver. What do you think of a beaver, you think of what? A built dam, right? Organized, what they go. And they desire to work with existing circumstances to promote quality. Okay? Beavers make good accountants. Okay? You tell them the rules, who's going to follow it? The beaver. Who's not going to follow it, the rules? It's the otter. And probably the lion, because the lion has a more logical way to do it. You guys would have thought this through, you would have known better. All right? So, the analyst or the beaver, they're looking for security. Okay? So if some of you I have a feeling there's a lot of people in this room right now. Okay? Just guessing. Okay? They're looking for security. No sudden changes. Okay? You're going to make a change. It's going to take you longer to make the change. Okay? Not so for a lion. We're going, come on, what is taking you so long to make this decision? Let's go. All righty? With that, they like exact job descriptions. They want to know that they're doing it by the book, down the row. They can just check it off. They love the list. They do like personal attention. They like the controlled atmosphere, and they like the status quo. They like, hey, if it ain't broke, let's not be fixing it. Instead of those of us who want to be a little more innovative, who say, yeah, but there's always a better way to build a mousetrap. Right? And so can you see where the conflict comes, where misunderstanding people? Those of us who are just doing part of our personality, we want to do our personality, but you're just being a stick in the mud and don't want to do anything. You just want to do it the same old way. Conflict happens. Characteristics. These people, beavers and analysts, they know their limitations. They are sensitive. They don't waste their words. Remember the old commercial that said, when E.F. Hutton speaks, people listen? I used to have an elder on one of our boards that when he spoke, everybody listened because he rarely said anything in the meeting. You had to get him one-on-one for him to feel comfortable usually doing that. So if he spoke up, man, he was not going to waste his words. Okay? They are perfectionists. They are loyal. You tell them to do it a certain way, they're not going to deviate from it. Trust me. They have exceptional analytical abilities. Okay? They do have a strong need to be loved, but they can be moody and their feelings can dominate. Okay? But they are a faithful friend. But realize that handful of friends is going to be few because they don't make friends easily. Have any of you seen yourselves yet? The dependable, the golden retriever. They like to cooperate with others to carry out the task. Okay? They love the status quo as well. They too need time to adjust. They like appreciation. They do like work patterns, to know what they're to do. They do tend to identify with the group. They prefer kind of a limited territory. Okay? They're not into just having many irons in the fire. All right? Just, I'm focused here with this. All righty? They are peace lovers. Characteristics. They are a peace lover. Nothing drives the lion leader crazier yet is when you won't do something because you're too worried about peace, being peace. Your dependable is about making sure that everybody's happy. Everybody's moving along. Okay? You might have offended somebody in that meeting and you owe them an apology. You can't see the smile on her face. Okay? That's that type of personality. Remember, there is no right or wrong temperament. Okay? We are just different. Okay? But they like the routine. They show loyalty. They're very capable and efficient. They are a team player. Okay? Until you offend them to the point and everybody else is mad at you. Okay? They are good listeners. They're accurate and neat. They dislike confrontation. Okay? So if you're around somebody in your office or your family and they just go, hey, no, they shut down. Okay? That's the reason why. All right? And instead, if you're a certain personality type, you get accused of liking confrontation. It's just necessary. Okay? Since Stacy and I are the only ones in the room right now that way. All right? With that. They internalize pressure. They build up pressure on themselves. They do have a dry sense of humor, so that's why they do like certain things. They are predictable. Okay? You're going to choose the same thing. I'm going to say if you go to a restaurant and you go to that restaurant often, I'm going to say you pick from one or two things from that restaurant. And that's what you will always pick. Almost can guarantee it. Almost guarantee it. Natural peacemaker, and they're kind-hearted. Okay. I saw a smile on that one. So, yeah, that's about the food, right? The restaurant. You can pick what they're going to choose. All right, lots of stuff. There are many different ways to categorize personality, but your personality is far too complex to fit any one of those patterns. Because then think about this, that when you actually take two of these, how many of you would see yourself as a lion and an otter? No. You're not fun-loving at all? All right.
At work or at
In
home?
law, see? Okay. So, but what we're saying is it's important for you to understand your shape so you understand your personality, that P, so you understand and how you deal with people. Okay? My wife for many years has called me a cheater because I manipulate, in that term I use my knowledge of personalities to be able to get what I want. Okay. I see that as a positive, some see that as manipulation. Okay? All right? So when somebody looks at you sometimes, Stacy, and says, oh, she's a manipulator. Well, depends how you look at it. All right? But it's that personality aspect that pulls them together. You know, allow that for families and work, I'm telling you, you start looking at people, you start reading these and looking at these, you start going, oh, I forgot. I need to spend a little slower time so I can get them on board with this project and we can keep moving. All righty? Many, many different ways. But 1 Corinthians 2:11 says, no one can really know what anyone else is thinking or what he is really like except for that person himself. And because of that, we have conflicts. We have conflicts at our workplaces. We have conflicts at church. We have conflicts in our families. So it's very important to begin to understand how that is. And so I'm going to take a look at 3 factors or ways that keys that how we can get along better with others. Okay? That's part of that. I know we're having, that was hard boxes to fill in. I can help you do that with giving you some other resources that I use off of there with that. But number 1, we need to beware of personality differences. First one there on your outline is be aware of personality differences. Proverbs 19:11 says, a man's wisdom gives him patience. The more that you understand how people act and react, the more patient you are with them. Okay? I can sit in a meeting when I understand personalities. And when I accept, I'm aware of what they need to make a decision. Okay? So if you're living with a dependable, or you are a dependable, and you have a lion in the car, the lion might say, we're going to go to such a place, we're going to do the drive-through about 20 miles ahead of time. Got what I'm saying? Which interpreted means is, be thinking about what we're going to order at the window. Right? The more we understand, be aware. Be aware. And remember we talked about this? If you're married, chances are you married an opposite. Okay? And that's okay, because that creates balance. There's no right or wrong temperament. Just different. That's the way God made us. That's the way God made us. With that. God wants you to not only understand your personality, but He wants you to understand the personalities of the people around you. You see, if you're not aware of why people act the way they do, what's going to happen? You're going to misjudge them. You're going to put all kinds of motives in their actions. You'll misunderstand them. You'll become impatient with them, and you'll be living in constant conflict. You know some people that way? Constant conflict, because the people around us are different. All right?